Hello, my friends. Good evening. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on Mike Avery Outdoors. My name is Mike Avery. I'm not outdoors, but I am live. So that takes care, and it is Wednesday. So that takes care of the Wednesday Night Live stuff, but not the outdoor stuff. Anyway, glad to have you along with us. Once again, what are we doing? Tweaking the. Why do you do this, Avery? Why? Why do you do that? Hey, Craig, buddy, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. Sean, good evening. How are you? Randy, always a pleasure to have you along with us as well. Gene, Patrick, Larry, Tim, good evening. How are you, buddy? Mike, checking in from Nebraska. How are things in Nebraska? Jason, it was nice to see you today. I was just, what was I doing? I was either eating my sub or getting ready to light a cigar, one or the other. Ed, good evening. Scott, Jason, my friend, how are you? Roger, what are we talking about tonight? I don't know. What do you want to talk about tonight? Want to get my camera straightened up. I'll tell you that. Why do I do this? Why? Why do I there now? Now all is good with the world. You missed the last had to sink a new well. Well, okay. George, where did George go? Doing good, brother. How are you? Paul checking in, David checking in. We always get a good crowd on Wednesday Night Live, and I appreciate you joining me as we kick off the month of December. Who's coming up on this week? You guys are getting ahead of me here. I'll get to it. We got plenty of time. Bob, good evening. Mike, nice to have you along with us as well. A lot of things to talk about. Oh, here we go. Julie says, Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Yeah, I did hear about it. It's not true. Lloyd, we'll get to that. It's not true. It's one of those legends, one of those myths, one of those things that people like to talk about that just ain't true. Say it ain't true. Well, it ain't true. Why? Why? Why do you not deal with this ahead of time, dummy? Lights is great. I don't know. Now I don't like the shot. What in the world is wrong with you, Avery? Why? Why can you not just leave well enough alone? Nobody else is even going to notice that. So I'm going to leave it as it is. 2-year-old daughter's laughing at my hump day. I laugh at it too. Good evening, Tim, Central Ohio. Jim checking in. So we've got Tennessee, Central Ohio, Nebraska, fur industry. Love trapping. Trappers are the most knowledgeable men and women in the outdoors. Let's talk about the rut. I do have lots of energy for a Wednesday evening. And as soon as I get through here, I'm going to go back upstairs and finish my project I'm working on. Clarkston checking in. Always a pleasure to have you along with it. Thinking about the people of Oxford. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, though. This is a venue. This is a forum for good, positive stuff for the most part. And we'll let the other people talk about that. Issues at EHD, a little bit in the southern part of the state. My son James has some lease property down in Illinois. They got hit hard. Jamie checking in from St. Joe. I talked a guy at work into buying a Rapid River knife for a Christmas present. He was impressed. How can you not be impressed? How can you not be impressed with something like that? That is my Rapid River knife. This is mine. You can't have it. There is no other. Mitch never did return my call. My camera's off. Oh, Ross. Yeah, right, Bill, son of a guy. Right back at you, buddy. Talk about what you want for Christmas. Why? Do you think I'm going to buy it for you? We could bring up muzzleloader regulations. We could, but they're so complicated. I can't keep track of them. We'll talk about them a little bit. Clint checking in. Bernie checking in. There's Bernie. Branch County was hit hard. Lloyd says, notice a downturn in deer sightings this year for him. 50% EHD. Could be. St. Clair County got hit bad. Mark checking in. Hey, Mark, how are things in Kalkaska, buddy? Nice to have you along with us. And nice to meet you and have you join us in Ohio, as it was nice for Lori to join us in Ohio. Dave used his Rapid River knives to skin and cut his deer up. I haven't done anything so fun with mine, except I notched a bear tag with it. So I did get to do that. Sal is rolling through Marysville with us tonight. Appreciate that, Sal. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Cedar checking in. Uncle Johnny checking in. How are you, buddy? So what is going on tonight besides it being hump day? Anybody catching walleye in the Flint River? I don't know, but I can tell you they're catching them on Saginaw Bay. We're going to talk about that tonight. Saginaw Bay is on fire right now for big fish. Any plans for the Novi Ultimate Fishing Show? I'll be there. Hey, Pastor, good evening. How are you, my friend? Chris checking in from Kansas. I would have shot that buck, but he never came on his property. Yeah, if they don't cross the property line, there's not much you can do. Heading over to the Refuge Ranch this weekend, Ross. Have fun. Lots of turkey sightings now that the season's over. Isn't that the case? Isn't that the case? Of course. Oh, a few days till we bring up the rifles for muzzleloader season. Ain't that the case? You guys are getting ahead of me. You got to give me time to get to my subjects. How did the show go with the phone lines out? It went surprisingly well. When you've got a radio show that counts on calling people on a phone line to get them on the show as guests, and the phone lines are out, you know what we did? We took my cell phone, and I can't show you because my cell phone is my camera right now. We took my cell phone, made the phone calls from my cell, put it on speaker, and took a microphone like this and pointed it down towards my phone. And it actually worked out great. Really pleasantly surprised. CMU bass fishing team will be there. What dates am I going to be there at the big show? The show Big Mike. I don't know. I actually love technology though, Lloyd. It allows me to do this, to go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter all at once. I love technology. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of what I do without technology. Was that outage pretty bad? Couldn't get through to Midland. I don't know, Ed. No, I think what I'm talking about was specific to the radio station. Randy, good evening. How are you? I'm a radio MacGyver. All right, John, I'll look forward to it. Is the Novi show on for sure? As far as I know, Showspan is doing all of their shows. They're good to go. Am I headed out for? Oh, you headed to Yale Sunday for muzzle rifle shotgun? Yeah, headed. Oh, you are okay, Dave. Hey, Johnny. Good evening, buddy. How are you? You know where I will be next week? Next Thursday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Or is it a week from tomorrow? I'll be out in Bad Axe for their hunter dinner banquet. I'm the featured speaker. I guess nobody else wanted to do it. I guess everybody else turned them down. So there I was. My bag has more adapters and more gadgets and more gizmos. I'm pretty well set there. Always a pleasure, Johnny. All right, so we'll get to the subject at hand. This is Wednesday. It is December. We're going to give away a Michigan brand ham tonight. We're going to talk about a way for you to save at the Fox Hunter Dinner. Lori, I don't think it's the Fox Hunter Dinner. It's called the Thumb. Yeah. Yeah, Ted Nugent was busy. Nugent was busy. Gretzinger was busy. Who else? Who's the guy does this? Who's that guy? Kyle. Kyle was busy. No, I don't know what dates for the show. All the big names in the outdoor industry were busy. So I guess I was their last choice, and I was available. So anyway, I'll be out there Thursday. Come on out and enjoy us. Hey, I saw that today, Mike. Uncle Ted was on with Joe Rogan today. I like Rogan. I think he's very insightful, very smart. I have a hard time listening to Joe Rogan because he drops so many F-bombs that I'm uncomfortable listening to. I got to be honest. Listening from Georgia, Hey, Bruce, how you doing? How are things in Georgia? God bless you as well, my friend. Chris says, well, if I needed a speaker for my show, you'd be the first choice. Oh, so what's on my list? Let me find it. It is December, which means Christmas is just around the corner. Yeah, he does, but he is. You're right. He is very down to earth. I like the guy. I really do. Good evening. How are you? I may not be the biggest name, but I'm probably the biggest guy physically. Dave, nice to have you along with us. Johnny. Scott checking in from Taylor. I'm not going to lie and tell you I've never used a bad word. But I try not to. I try. Hey, Donnie, how you doing? And I just thought of something else. Joe Llewellyn, aren't you supposed to be in a Advent service right now? I'm supposed to be, but here I am. Gunnar Ross, that once played with Ted Nugent, passed away today. I haven't heard the name Gunnar Ross before. I have not heard that one. Gene says, Mike, you're an awesome speaker. Had you had a guest speaker at my Wild Game dinner at your church, would have you again. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate that. Well, my deer season's not over yet, but I haven't shot anything. Have a drummer. Okay. I haven't had a shot yet at a, I don't expect to see a buck that I would shoot. I'm looking for a big doe. Last time I was out, I had a doe fawn come by. I wanted to shoot her mama or her grandmama. The drummer. Okay. All right. I get the point. He was a drummer. Jason said, like that you never say a few words to the geese. Yeah, I do say a few words to the geese in the backyard. Mark's late, but he's here. That's all that matters. John says, I learned that today while watching Joe Rogan's latest podcast with Ted Nugent. That's how we got on the subject. Scott says, so how was everybody's hunting season? Mine was good. Haven't shot a deer yet. Probably won't. Hey, look what I got. Jay's 50th anniversary. Speaking of that, probably tomorrow I will post video on YouTube and on Facebook of my interview I did with the powers that be at Jay's Sporting Goods, the Poet family, who started Jay's Sporting Goods. So I hope you enjoy that. Ed says he saw lots of twin fawns. What's in the cup? Just Crystal Light. And in fact, tonight, I will not be putting any Maker's Mark in here for quite a while because when I'm done, I'm going to go upstairs and be using some saws and some drills. And so I'm probably not going to enjoy any Maker's Mark till later tonight. Working on a project. Michigan elk hunt on the 11th. How cool is that? Just left Jay's getting guns. No. I got 151 right now. I've had over 200 on here. Do I use a laser rangefinder? I do not. Favorite vortex? I don't know if I have a, I like vortex, but I don't know if I have a favorite vortex. Well, it'd be turned from a honeydew into a me-do. She got me hooked on this project. Ross, you had to bring Ross. I swear, buddy, if you were here right now, I'd punch you in the arm. No. The part for the fireplace came in today after a week and a half, got here from Europe, from Great Britain, and guess what? They sent me the wrong part. So I have already sent off a fairly strongly worded email saying, where is the right part and when will it be here? But actually, the project I'm working on is another fireplace. I'm framing in a fireplace for the bedroom. So that's what I'm working on right now. Don't get me started on them. Hello, Dave. How are you this evening? Hi, Vicky. How are you? Okay. Saginaw Bay walleye is on fire. I didn't include any bad words in there. No, I didn't, because actually I'm at their mercy. You know, it's one of those situations where I don't have anybody locally to deal with, so I'm at the mercy of people a long ways off. So I have to tread very lightly, let them know that I'm not real happy, but I need their help in getting this fixed. Can I tell you who's on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week before we get to our giveaway? Because I know that's why a lot of you tuned in just to win that Michigan brand ham, and that's all right. I know you didn't tune in for my wit and wisdom, but you want that Michigan brand ham, and I don't blame you. Mark Pananzak, Captain Mark Pananzak of Real Fishing is my leadoff guest this week on the Outdoor Magazine radio show, and he's talking about this fantastic late-season walleye fishing on Saginaw Bay. If your boat is not winterized, head over. You know what, Bob? The second fireplace that we bought was at Menards. We got a Dimplex from Menards. So, yeah, I'm with you there. Lori tunes in every week just to watch me. I appreciate that. Oh, did you guys all take your funny pills tonight? Did you take your comedian pills tonight? Tim Bin says, I love wisdom from old people. That's one of the advantages of making it this far, my friend. Anyway, Captain Mark Pananzak talks about the tremendous walleye fishing on Saginaw Bay right now. It is world class right now. My son James was out there, a 3-man limit. And it wasn't just him. There were 3 guys in the boat of big fish. Then Carl Yider of the Yider Insurance Group reminding us, not old, just seasoned, well seasoned. Appreciate your wisdom the other day, Joe. Hey, Chad, good evening, buddy. How are you? Then Carl Yider talks about keeping your hunting and fishing gear insured. You got a lot of money wrapped up in your hunting and fishing gear. Make sure to get it insured. What'd Johnny say? If only some people knew that you'd have 500 people, maybe 1,000 watching, that's the truth. Sugar than vinegar, yes. Hour number 2, Captain Paul Schlafly checks in from the Manistee River where he is steelhead fishing. Then Nick Green of MUCC. Nick let us know about 3 things. There is a wolf advisory committee meeting next week, but do not look for a Michigan wolf hunt to come out of that meeting. He also reminded us about the changes, the potential changes in the walleye fishing regulations for the lower Saginaw River. One of the commissioners wants to open up the spawning closure there. Well, yes, most homeowners insurance will cover it if you ask, but you have to have you have to have it scheduled. If it's in your house, they'll cover it. If you got a truck full of guns and you're up north hunting and some idiot breaks into your truck and steals your guns, your homeowners doesn't cover that unless it's scheduled. You got to get it scheduled. Brent, good evening. How are you? Dale, nice to have you along with us. Nick Green talks about potential changes. They want to open up, they being one commissioner, wants to open up the Saginaw River. I know you did, Nick. Speaking of good people, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand. We're going to give away a Michigan Brand in just a few minutes. And also proposed changes in the regulations for the steelhead limit on some northern Michigan streams. And then Richard P. Smith wraps it up. And, of course, wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner. Brad, doesn't matter if you're late, man. All you are, that's here. That's all that matters. Good evening, Stu. They're trolling minnow baits in Saginaw Bay. Yes, they are, Lloyd. 17 feet of water straight out of Linwood Beach Marina. He's doing better. Thank you, Ross. Slow trolling. Okay. I'm going to get to this week's Ask Avery segment. I'm going to talk about a way to save some money, but you know what? Hey, Jeff, how you doing? I appreciate that. Justin says we'll never get a wolf hunt until we get a different governor. I can't completely argue with that because she appoints the NRC. Very true. Since Nick Grillo is on board, you want to give away a Michigan Brand? Let's do that. You've got 2 minutes starting right now. 2 minutes. Make your comments on why you want to win a Michigan Brand ham for the holidays. While we're doing that, let me show you the Michigan Brand website. Share screen, Chrome tab, boom, boom, boom. That is the website for Michigan Brand, michiganbrand.net, michiganbrand.net. Look at the different products they have. Make your comments on why you want to win a ham. Look at all these different things. Michigan Brand, great, great people. The website, michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. Let's see some of the comments here. Nick, my spiral cut honey glazed Michigan brand ham for Thanksgiving was outstanding. We will have another one for Christmas. We will have another one for New Year's. We'll have another one for Easter. Mark says you want to give a Mark. Mark. I should have made my comment. That is a wonderful thing to say, Mark. But when people make comments like that, it is so hard for Nick. So I appreciate your generosity, brother. Chad says he'll give one to a needy family, his family. No, not really. And that is a very honorable thing to do. And I appreciate that very much. And I almost always make a comment about, please don't say you'll give it to a needy family because it skews the giveaway. It skews them tremendously. Would love a ham for the wife and daughter for Christmas. Oh, by the way, you got one more minute. Nick Grillo, how are you going to pass that one up? Pastor Joe Llewellyn skipped church tonight to win that ham. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Lyle's got a comment in here. All right, he'll eat it himself. There you go, Mark. Matt, 20 seconds on that. Where are we at? 20 seconds on the ham. Jeremy says he wants to win a ham. 10 seconds on the ham. Never had one. Scott says Scott wants to win one. Michigan brand the best. 10, 9, 8. You standing by? You standing by with the timer? 8, 7, 6. Your friend can't come over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How long was that? Official timer. How long was that? Faker. Earmuffs. How long was that? 39.68. Too long. 39 point. So where'd we go? The official timer. 39.68. There's a hand to the big guy. Is that a new record? Brian Stimson. Brian Stimson is tonight's lucky winner of the Michigan brand ham for the holidays. Brian Stimson. Congrats, Brian. It is a new record. It's a new record for the big guy. Well, okay, you can congratulate Brian, but what about Avery? What about the big guy who went almost 40 seconds on that buzzer? Brian, congrats. I'm just joking around. Brian, if you would, outstanding. Yes, there we go. Congrats, Brian. Now I got to catch my breath. Send me a private message. Great job, Avery. There we go. There are the congrats for the big guy. That's what I was looking for. I'm not shaming the winner. I'm just saying let's just share the love. That's all I'm saying. Brian, congrats. Send me a private message here with your shipping address or send it directly to Nick Grillo, who is on here with us tonight, and he will get that ham for the holidays off to you. Let me just talk very briefly about Michigan. What is tag soup? That's when you don't fill your tags. Michigan brand meats. MichiganBrand.net is the website. A great family-owned, Michigan-based company. They are very, very generous. They supply a ham every week throughout the entire holiday season. We'll do it again for Easter. I have Michigan brand hams at the Avery House for all of the holidays. A great, great product. Nick Grillo is a great guy. He's a hardcore hunter and angler, and he also owns a custom-made Rapid River mammoth tooth knife. Not like this one, because this one is mine. There is no other one like this. Thank you, Nick, buddy. Appreciate it. Nick will be along with us next week as well. All right. 33.75 was the previous. Beat it by almost 6 seconds. I have very good lung capacity. I'm actually quite healthy for an old guy. Going to be hard to beat. It is going to be hard to beat, but I'm going to try next week. You can count on that. All right. Let's get to the other things on the list here. This week's Ask Avery segment question. There was a couple of them. There is no other like Nick's either. That's right. Nick has the only one like his. Paul Stewicki. So I'm saying I'm a windbag. I wasn't saying it, but I wouldn't argue with it. Paul Stewicki sent me an email. He says, Mike, I heard, and this was brought up earlier. He said, Mike, I heard. No, I never give up those cigars. I don't care if I go for 3 minutes. I'll never give up those cigars because I don't inhale them. COVID kit. I'm not even going to say it. I am fully vaccinated, though. Paul Stewicki said, I heard that starting next year, and I've heard this from several people, they're going to have a muzzleloader season during the month of October as the true muzzleloader season, like December used to be. Have I heard of this? Okay, so I've heard this several times. A rumor that the DNR is going to have the muzzleloader season in October next year as a way to make up for basically taking away the muzzleloader season in the southern part of the state. So I asked Chad Stewart of the DNR, who is the big game specialist for the DNR. I texted him because I have his personal cell phone number. That's why you come to the big guy for information. Chad says, hey, Mike, nothing has been developed or even proposed for next year's deer regulations. Ultimately, we'd like to take a break from deer regs for a couple of years and see how the current structure operates. Inevitably, though, something seems to come up that someone deems needing to be addressed. But there is nothing developing for next year at this time. So two points to take away from this. There is nothing even in the works. It has not been remotely discussed. So where the rumor's coming from that there's going to be a muzzleloader season in October, I don't know. Don't worry about Bernie because it ain't going to happen. Second takeaway, that right there, Bernie, again, not going to happen. Second takeaway is the DNR would like to have a 2 or 3 year period to let the regulations they put in place take hold and see what the impact, see what the effect is going to be. They don't always get to do it. Second thing is, I had somebody ask me if a 450 Bushmaster and a 350 Legend can be used in the southern part of the state this year for muzzleloading season. And the answer is yes. Because this year in Zone 3, any firearm that was legal during the 15-day Michigan gun season will be legal during the muzzleloader season. So it's basically an extension on the firearm season. So much for primitive season. Remember that? So another couple years with a dozen doe permits each. I'm not ruling it out. Ross says, hopefully, if we get a new governor, we can get baiting back. Well, Ross, you and I both know that the governoress, the governorette, our esteemed leader, doesn't make baiting policy. You and I both know that, right, Ross? But we also know that she appoints the NRC that does make that policy. A good point, Martin. Great follow-up question, Martin. But once the regs are in place for a couple of years, can you really try to take that back away? Case in point, the Southern Michigan extended firearm season, technically called a muzzleloader season, but it's not this year. Once we let hunters do that, how are you going to take it away? Great point, Martin. I don't think we can. Once it's put into place and people in Zone 3 get used to the extended firearm season in place of a muzzleloader season, how are you going to take it away? I don't think you can. Jason says he's guessing the whole state will have a 4-week gun season. Ross said, but when it got to her desk after getting passed by the NRC, she said no. Far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. I can't agree with you there, though. Lloyd. I do not agree with that. That Michigan has the worst DNR in America. I don't agree with that at all. It was that way last year too. See, Mark, I didn't know that. I didn't remember that there was an extended gun season in the southern part of the state. I did not know that. So thank you for making me aware of that. Jason says, at what point will there be, here's tags in 3 months, go use what you want? Well, the Doe tag's good for anywhere in the state. We're kind of a step in that direction. The DNR wants to knock down the number of beers. I don't know about that, but the deer in Michigan. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I did not know that. Thank you. Year rifles last year during muzzleloader. Okay, thank you. I did not know that. David says, I don't see reducing deer numbers where I hunt. Don't reduce them where I hunt. I don't want you to reduce the number of deer where I hunt, DNR. I want as many deer as possible. Going back to the wolf season, Terry talked about this earlier. There's a wolf advisory committee meeting next week. I suspect you already know about this, but don't look for anything concrete to come out of this, because as Nick Green of MUCC was telling me on the show this morning, our friends, the anti-hunters, who I'm sure that deep down inside, the anti-hunters are good people, but they're just misdirected and uneducated and a little bit wacky, but they're good people. They filed another suit in California. Chris says he doesn't believe DNR is a problem. It's the politics around it. The antis. And I'll tell you this, the Michigan DNR from Michigan, the Michigan political system, from the governor to the NRC to the DNR. It is my opinion, and I base this on what I've been told by leaders in key positions, that they do not have the heart to push for a wolf season right now, because they feel that they don't have the resources to do it. Between COVID and EHD, they just don't have the heart to push for a wolf season. That's my take on it. Again, Lloyd, I'm going to disagree with you. I do not believe we have idiots in the DNR. I don't. Tracy, I'm not going to post that comment because, all right, please keep the people of Oxford in our prayers. Absolutely. But that's all I'm going to say about it. They deserve our prayers. It was a terrible tragedy, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole tonight. Reading the extended season rule makes me think they're moving the Zone 3 line north to county lines in the future. Well, it would make sense to have them follow county lines instead of M57 and M46, wouldn't it, Tim? Sell more licenses. That's all they're interested in. Let me ask you this. Why do you hate the DNR so much? And that's a legitimate question. I'm not being a smart aleck. Why do you hate the DNR so much? Jim says, great question. Where'd it go? What about dove or sandhill crane seasons? Okay. Another good question. Remember, we had a dove season in Michigan. Remember that? And we lost it. And the reason we lost the dove season in Michigan is because hunters didn't support it. Hunters did not support dove hunting in Michigan. We had it for a year and we let it go. Because when the antis started flitting around and making their big noise and hue and cry, Michigan hunters kind of said, all right, there aren't many dove hunters in Michigan, so we'll let the dove hunt be the sacrificial lamb and we'll let it go away. And that'll satisfy the anti-hunters and they'll leave us alone. Didn't work, did it? Regarding a sandhill crane season, we should have a sandhill crane season in Michigan. MUCC's in favor of it. It has been talked about at length in Lansing. I can't remember why it got held up. I don't remember. I don't see us having a sandhill crane season here in the near future. I want to find Lloyd, that's not true. Lloyd, you can't possibly say the Michigan DNR does nothing. It's not true. Look at turkey hunting in Michigan. Look at walleye fishing in Michigan. Look at salmon fishing in Michigan. DNR was heavily involved in all of those. You can't say the DNR does nothing. Joe says, what do I think about an Earn a Buck program? I am all in favor of Earn a Buck. All in favor of Earn a Buck. I think that's a great idea. If the Michigan DNR wants more does shot, earn a buck. Before you can shoot a buck, you've got to shoot a doe. I think that's a no-brainer, and I don't know why that hasn't come up. Where Dave says it's a love-hate. True. It's a love-hate. John says, what is Earn a Buck? I'll describe it again. Earn a Buck is done in some other states. I think it's a great idea. And it's basically, you get 2 licenses, but you can only fill your buck tag after you've shot a doe. I think it's a great idea. Jim, I agree with you completely. I'd like to see the youth season does only, because that would take a lot of the social and political pressure off the youth hunt, and it would teach these kids that a doe is indeed a trophy. I think we should have a $1 season too. I agree with you there, Terry. But when I posed that question to the DNR, they said, well, statistically, very few people use that second buck tag, and they say it provides additional hunting opportunity, which, okay, I'm all for hunting opportunity. Chris says, did want you to know that I did punch a tag on a nice big doe. Gotcha. Jerry makes a great point. If I had to wait to shoot a doe this year, I'd have nothing. Okay. We have nice campgrounds, boat launches, etc. DNR does a good job. Johnny says, I think, well, never mind. Well put, Johnny Bowler. Oh, what else we got here? We got off into some great conversations this evening, didn't we? What else is on my list before I run out of time and have to go back and frame in the rest of that fireplace? Oh, very, very important news. This is big news. Big news. They want guys that, boy, Lloyd, you really got it in for the DNR. They want guys to spend $45 for the combo tag. I think our Michigan hunting and fishing licenses are the best deal out there. I bought my combo tag and my turkey license and my fishing license, and it cost me less than taking my 4 grandkids to the movies for 2 hours. The new fireplace does work. I plugged it in. It works great. Johnny says he doesn't want to get banned from this page. Johnny Bowler, I will never ban you from this page. Facebook might ban you, but I will never ban you from this page, my friend. Okay, here's the big news. It's December. Christmas is just around the corner. Do you want to save some money on the Christmas gift for the hunter on your list? Here's how you do it. You go to outdoorpregame.com. That's outdoorpregame.com, and you use the promo code Mike21. Or, in fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. Share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Primal tree stands. Share. There it is. This is what I'm talking about. If you go to this website, primaltreestands.com, you'll see this banner right here. Use the promo code Avery. Promo code Avery, and you can save 20% on everything on the website. Same thing with Outdoor Pregame. Go to outdoorpregame.com. Use the promo code Mike21. Save big money. Save big money at Menards. DNR bureaucrats are different from the hardworking DNR employees. You nailed it. Jason, that's the comment of the night right there. You nailed it. The DNR is a bureaucracy. It is a state government bureaucracy, and it's a big bureaucracy. And I've always said this, that the hardworking people in the DNR at the field level are concerned about the resource. They got into the job because they wanted to do something right, and they wanted to help out, and they loved hunting and fishing. but it's human nature, and it's the nature of a bureaucracy that as you work your way up the food chain, you have to become more astute at politics and being a politician. You nailed it, Jason. How can we change it to dough only? Lobby for it. Dave says, what kind of broadheads did I use? I am using the REC, R-E-K, the REC expandable. And the reason I'm using REC is it's a Michigan-based family-owned company. And I like Michigan-based family-owned companies like Jay's Sporting Goods, even when the logo is on an overly priced, expensive Yeti. Okay, Lloyd, now we can agree. That's what Lloyd says he's talking about, the bureaucrats in the DNR. Okay, we're starting to get some time. I knew we had common ground here, Lloyd. Oh, thanks. Rub it in, Ron. Rub it in. No, I didn't get a deer. I have not seen a buck yet that I would put a tag on. And the does that I have had an opportunity at, I chose to pass. And now my remaining days in the field, and there aren't that many. I probably won't hunt that much yet this season. I'm looking for one of those big does. We're not going to talk about Bitcoin. Kelly, I don't know why you think you can come on here and talk about Bitcoin. We're not going to talk about Bitcoin. The DNR field officers don't make the decisions. Yes, and I cannot tell you how many times I've been with game wardens in the field because I have many friends who are wardens, and the people are bitching at the wardens about the rules. Wardens didn't make the rules. What happened to G5? G5 is a great family-owned Michigan-based company. I love G5 products. That Montec is an outstanding head. My son James used their expandables on his crossbow, and the wound channels were devastating. So I love G5. Love G5. Nothing but good things to say about G5. And they're also a Michigan-based family-owned company. What's the science to no crossbows in the UP? There is no science to it, Stu. In fact, that's one of the things that Richard P. Smith and I were talking about in my interview with him this morning. Martin says he's after a big matriarchal doe, and he has outsmarted him all season. They do that. Meat eaters from G5 are excellent. Yes, G5 is a Michigan-based company, the Grace Company. Lou Grace started it, and G5, Grace starts with G. G5 is the 5 G's in the family of Grace. There's Brian. Thank you for the Michigan brand ham. Brian, you are very welcome. If you have not already, please send me a private message here on the page with your shipping address, or send it directly to Nick, and he will get that out to you right away. Where did these 45 minutes go? Well, I can tell you where 40 seconds of it went in a new record buzzer. All right, my friends, I'm talked out. You didn't think it could happen, did you? I did a live this morning, a 3-hour radio show, and then an offshore podcast. Companies here, Ross, you're getting smarter in your old age. You have convinced your company not to come until 45 minutes after the hour. All right, my friends, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Thank you to Nick Grillo for providing a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. I appreciate your support. Appreciate you joining me tonight. My website is MikeAveryOutdoors.com, and my email address is Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night